You're tuned to Evergreen Media Network. I am Cindy Schwartz, and this is the Patient Partner Show. We're a podcast. Look us up there on Spreaker and also on its different platforms. And this is a talk radio show on iHeart, so thank you for that. It is worldwide. Jeannie Roller is with me from Indiana, my co-host. I'm in Florida. Jeannie, today we're talking about a subject, kidney dialysis. We're talking about the percentage of people that have kidney dialysis done, why it's done, and what what am I going to say? I don't want to say that this is the wrong things are being done with it. Here we go with the big box healthcare and what avenues we can possibly do not to have kidney dialysis, the reasons why we do have it, and just some information about that. And sadly, another shooting, another interaction with a doctor that was shot and killed because of the conflux of what this whole mess is with, do we really need kidney dialysis and how is it administered, and what are the crimes this person, the shooter, thought were involved with all of this. Jeannie, this is crazy again. Another story that you really don't want to hear.
Right. And this is an investigative story from CBS News, and I want to make one correction, Cindy. It was a medical resident, and he shot a kidney doctor here in Indiana, allegedly. But the doctor did not die.
Oh, okay.
Shot.
Gee.
He survived with some, permanent damage.
Yeah.
But, this resident, he was working with a man who was writing a book about how to make a killing, blood, death, and dollars in American medicine. And the next thing that this author knew is that he was contacted because this resident had shot this doctor, this kidney doctor. And it was all over the big business of dialysis. Now, here in the U.S., dialysis centers are mostly owned by two very large companies. They are for-profit. So there's been a lot of dissatisfaction, a lot of talk about not doing for patients what should be done, et cetera, et cetera. I'm not sure if this is true or not, but that's what this article is saying. So this resident decided to take matters into his own hands. This was like a month or two after the United Healthcare executive's murder. So, there's a lot of fear that people are going to go vigilante on medical harm because of all these stories that keep coming out there. And you and I both agree that is totally wrong. That shouldn't be happening. There's other ways to go about to bring change. But these kidney dialysis places, and there are about 7,600 of these nationwide. Here in Indiana, in some of the towns, there in some small towns, there are like two of them. Yeah. It's just, to me, sometimes it seems like they're on every street corner. And I was looking at a map, and a lot of the ones that are underperforming or the ratings are really bad, like in the 40s, 50s, 60s, and that's, failing the CMS ratings that they have, are in areas where it seems like there may be a lot of older people or a lot of poorer people. And the thing about these dialysis is, since they are for-profit, they need to push the patients through pretty fast in order to turn that machine over. In order to get the most money per day per machine, they have to, just fly people through. So, they may or may not be getting the dialysis quality that they need. That's something I can't say. I'm not a medical person, but that's what they're kind of inferring. But, it's kind of scary that they say that $40 billion a year is what the federal government is paying for patients to take dialysis. That's a lot of money.
$40 billion, B with a billion with a B.
Yeah.
That's incredible, yeah.
Yeah. And so, these dialysis places, they keep wanting more new patients. The current patients, it would seem, aren't as important as getting more new patients. I'm not sure what the reasoning is. If there must be like a finder's fee for getting new patients. I'm not sure what it would be. But it's just kind of really scary how many there are. And I've read articles that certain types of scans where they use dye can cause the kidney damage, and there's other things done medically that can cause kidney damage. I think using certain types of drugs can also, cause kidney damage. It seems like in recent years, the number of these dialysis places have just exploded across the U.S.
Or the number of people needing dialysis, like you're saying, maybe it is caused by certain drugs. I mean, at the end of the day, you have to make the choice. And that's another one, too, is with your liver. Do you make the choice to have a certain lifestyle, to be able to live, knowing that different systems in your body are going to be affected by it, the side effects and all that? We all kind of not chuckle, but ha-ha in some of the commercials because it seems like there's 800,000 side effects to every drug that they have on the commercials. The other thing is, I know someone told me, again, we're not medical people, I am not. He didn't have all the information, the gentleman that told me that there are the other countries that do not do dialysis, and there are other ways to help people that need supposedly kidney dialysis. So I wonder what that's about too, now that you're saying that these dialysis places are owned by two companies and they're definitely for profit. So why not bring in these other ways to cure kidney problems is what I'm saying. And he said, in so-and-so country, they do this instead. And I don't have the information on it, so I'm not going to mention it. But it's just, we went through that with the AIDS epidemic where people weren't getting the medications that they needed, but yet they were available. There are other countries that have medications available, too, that just don't quite meet the FDA quota. Maybe the FDA's got more stringent tests. I mean, I'm not privy to all of that stuff, but I just wonder about some of it, why we're not given or told or have the information for other avenues rather than just one specific sector that's keying in on this has to be done. We talk about this a lot in different avenues. We do, you and I, Jeannie.
Yeah, and CBS News found that since 2015, the top two kidney dialysis companies have paid at least $1.13 billion in legal settlements. Okay. So, that's pretty staggering, too.
Yeah, it is. But it's a drop in the bucket if they're bringing in $40 billion.
Right.
It's a drop in the bucket. And the other thing is, what are the people's quality of life? I mean, I don't know a lot about kidney dialysis, but I would think you'd have to go a couple of times a week. I mean, that's a big chunk of time for people to have to spend because of so-and-so. Again, if it's the only alternative that you have and you have to make that choice, do you do this certain drug if that's what would be causing the kidney problems, or, do you not do it? What's your quality of life? I mean, I don't want to be in that position myself, and many people are, and I my heart goes out to them to have to make that choice, but you don't want this as a backdrop to it either. Again, that's what this program is about. That's what this podcast is about. I mean, what are our actual information? What are our actual choices? Tell us the truth so we can figure out, let's be transparent about this so we as the person can figure this out and know where to go.
Right. And what really hit me is the author of the book I was mentioning before, and this is a quote from him: "Unless we can talk about systemic harm done by medical professionals, the insurance profession, against patients, we are not going to get anywhere." Yeah. And I totally agree, and that is why I do this broadcast with you.
Yeah. I absolutely agree, Jeannie. That's why we started this. I mean, you and I have no qualms with bringing these stories out. They need to be brought out because we need to be transparent. You and I found ourselves in this situation, we've said it umpteen times on this podcast, that forced us, we felt, to try to get some answers, to try to help people because we weren't told that we weren't transparent. I mean, the people that were fixing us supposedly weren't transparent, and we were railroaded, for lack of a better word, into thinking that was the only way we can go when it really wasn't.
Right.
So why, if we knew different, we would have went different. But we didn't. We trusted. And it was the wrong thing to do at the time. I mean, yes, we are sitting here talking on this podcast, and thank God for that, literally. But going forward, we need to have more information, all of us across the board. We're certainly paying enough for it in our healthcare. On that note, stay listening to Evergreen Media Network.